Hello everybody, Phil Snyder here, GunClassUtah.com. Hey, today I want to add some thoughts that I've got on Utah Constitutional Amendment C, which is up for the vote this November the 5th in the election. Initially, when I read it, it's like, well, yeah, no duh, okay, we need to have it in the Constitution to protect our sheriffs, right? And that's been the consensus of a lot of people. But my analytical brain here, maybe I'm overthinking this to some degree, or, call me crazy. But, I mean, it just, sounds really good, right? But we have to look at what's been going on recently before all of this happened. And as you know, if you probably watched my other video on the sheriff losing her position as CEO from the UPD that was done through the legislature, House Bill 374, the legislature voted almost unanimously, except for a few handful of absentee votes, to basically bully the sheriff into stepping down as the CEO of the UPD and giving up all of that power. And now we've got the same legislature voting almost unanimously to preserve her office of sheriff. Does that make any sense to you? I've got a really good bullshit detector. I've worked with officers over my career and they've told me what a great bullshit detector I have. And I hope I'm wrong, but it just kind of smells like bullshit to me. I mean, if the legislators were all ganging up on her and getting her to step down and basically give away 247 deputies back to the UPD that, by the way, prior to 2010, they were all sheriff's deputies under Jim Winder. You got to ask yourself, oh, okay, well, why all of a sudden within the same year, a year's time, that now all of a sudden they want to do everything to protect the sheriff and have those elections done in a constitution? I mean, when they did House Bill 374, having the sheriff step down, one of their bullshit excuses was that there was a double taxation issues, but they were talking about double taxation issues prior to 2014 when I retired, over the last 12 years or so. So if it really truly was a double tax issue, then I think a lot of Salt Lake County voters probably deserve to have a refund that were affected by that, if that's the case. I don't think it was the case. I think you had a lot of power-hungry politicians in the city governments in the county that wanted the sheriff's power. They wanted the decision authority over the officers at the UPD because they didn't have that before. And this is constantly a problem that I see. The other problem I have with this bill is it doesn't really mirror what's in the state law already. I mean, why do we need to change it? We already have it in state law that the sheriff's office is an office and then it's elected every 4 years. And that's exactly what the proposal is to add into the Utah Constitution. The concern I have with this is, under current state law, it spells out specifically what the requirements are to be a sheriff candidate and run for office. And those qualifications are, among other things, is that the sheriff has to be a law enforcement officer, and they have to be a corrections certified officer, and they have to maintain those credentials throughout their time as office. And under this new bill, it doesn't mention anything about sheriff's qualifications. Hell, I suppose they could have, some government official run for sheriff's office that doesn't have peace officer authority or a peace officer license through post. So my gut's telling me that the legislature is up to nonsense again. And it's not just because of this, but, if you watch my other videos, I have a problem with House Bill 369 under the Defensive Force Amendments. And that, they've been, crossing out words like reasonable and, making the use of deadly force necessary when they were protecting our homes against intruders and things like that. Why are they doing all this stuff? This is anti-Second Amendment. It's we want to protect ourselves. And their attitude in the legislature is anti-sheriff having all this authority because they want to take it away. And so I'm not trying to get you to change your vote. This is just for my friends to think about. And if this proposed legislation actually mirrored what is currently in state law, that would make me feel a lot better about the vote. But it doesn't do that. And it leaves it up to court appeals in the event that the government tried to want to steal that position away and give it to somebody that probably wasn't qualified. It's going to just, because it's ambiguous, it's going to leave it up to appeals. And that's the problem that I have with it. So please go out and vote November the 5th. Try to do it early, do early voting. Try to do it in person with your paper ballot. Take a bunch of people with you and all vote together. And just vote for what you feel is right, and because your gut really tells you a lot. Thanks for watching.